Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We are going to be talking about SNIF Old Saint Wick. Now, in this review, not only am I going to go over the fragrance notes and what my nose is detecting, but I also want to give you guys a little bit of a comparison between the performances that I have had between this smaller vessel, which is the 8.5-ounce 2-wick vessel, compared to this 4-wick 50-ounce vessel that you see lit in front of you. So I'll give you guys some information about that. The reason why I wanted to get this review done for you guys now is because the SNIF website is still currently 30% off. I believe that is at least running through Monday, December 1st, which will be Cyber Monday. I don't know if that will continue any longer after that date. And when I was checking the website today for more information about this candle, there were some other things that I discovered. So I just wanted to, make sure I get this review out for all of you guys in case you have had your eye on this candle, because I know that if you've been watching my channel lately, I have really been singing this fragrance's praises. So yeah, this is my official dedicated review for this candle. So let's just go ahead and go into the comparisons really quickly. SNIF is a cleaner, I would say, brand when it comes to fragrance. I initially found them because I like quite a few of their personal fragrances. They have a lot of eau de toilettes, they have body mists, they offer candles, they offer laundry care. And so that was kind of how the perfumes were kind of the gateway for me into this brand. Now, about 9 months ago, I actually purchased my first candle from the brand, which was in the fragrance Heal the Way, which you guys know is one of my most complimented personal fragrances. And I already did a dedicated review of that candle, but the first candle that I purchased from them in Heal the Way was in this size format. This is the 2-wick 8.5-ounce vessel. This retails for $46. This larger 4-wick vessel is 50 ounces of wax, and it retails for $129. So we've got quite a price difference here, but you're also getting much larger amounts of wax, and this also has 4 wicks compared to 2 wicks. The second candle that I purchased in this size here was the Mornings at Leven. Again, spoiler alert, if you didn't see my reviews on either Heal the Way or Mornings at Leven, I actually had surprisingly good performance from this smaller 2-wick format. So about a month ago, I decided to go ahead and purchase this Old Saint Wick as well as Lost Claws. I did a review on Lost Claws last week. I loved the fragrance on Old Saint Wick enough, spoiler alert, that I went ahead and purchased the larger vessel in this 4-wick format. Now, I'll talk about the fragrance notes here in just a minute, but the 4-wick format does also come with this nice lid. The other thing that I will say with SNIF is that they package their candles not only well for shipping, but they're really, really nice in terms of if you wanted to give these candles as a gift. They come not only with their outer box, but they come with a really nice interior box that the candle is very securely packed into. So they make great efforts in their packaging of this product. So let's go ahead and talk about the fragrance notes here on Old Saint Wick. They are Siberian pine, apple blossom, which they put in parentheses, comes across more like a semi-dry cider, rosemary, jasmine, fir balsam, sandalwood, and cedarwood. Now, if you caught my top 5 tree fragrances video that I did a couple of weeks ago, you guys know that this one made its way onto that list. And that was a pretty quick jump, but I think you guys aren't surprised. I told you that I went ahead and repurchased this in a 4-wick. If I was willing to invest enough money to purchase the larger vessel, clearly I like the fragrance. I personally, you guys, am somebody who loves warm, slightly woody tree fragrances when it comes to the holidays, but not even just around Christmas time. I like those fragrances probably like November through late January. I feel like fragrances like this are just classic, good. They make your home feel warm and cozy. This is definitely a tree fragrance. I do not get cat urine, which I have always been very particular about tree fragrances for that reason. Tree fragrances that come across a little bit too pine needly for me, I can't do, you guys. If they come across a little bit too astringent, I can't do them. Usually what I need is a little bit of sweetness mixed in with my tree notes and a little bit of a wood element. And I feel like that's why I'm loving this candle so much. You do get a pine tree, right? This is supposed to be like a Christmas tree fragrance, but I do detect the balsam. I get some of those woody notes. The sandalwood and the cedarwood are definitely there in the base. I feel like those come out a little bit more the longer that you burn this candle, which makes sense. Again, it is a base note. The semi-dry cider, the apple blossom note in here, while it does not overtly smell like apple blossom to me, there is something that is slightly sweet to this fragrance. And when I say slightly sweet, if you are fans of Bath & Body Works Vanilla Balsam, I think that you will like this fragrance. This is not as woody of a fragrance as, say, Kringle Candles Christmas or their Snow-Capped Fraser. That has a little bit more woody elements. This has more pine in it. If it's also not as woody as Time's Fraser Fir, but it's close. This to me just has a slight element of sweetness to it. That again, I think is that apple blossom note. I don't really detect anything overtly floral with jasmine or herbaceous with rosemary in here. Yeah, those notes aren't overly detectable. This is just a really, really nice tree fragrance. Again, it's going to be good for the Christmas season, but I also see this being just a very nice fragrance that you can prolong and still burn into the continuing winter months of January and February. Just a really, really enjoyable scent. Now let's go ahead and talk about the performance here, because you guys, I talked about this here on my channel already, but I have already finished burning this 8.5 ounce vessel. You will see it in my empties. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you guys. This smaller vessel, I did have some wick issues with it for about the first half of the burn. In fact, I had to dump a little bit of wax. I was dealing with some wicks that were slightly kind of like drowning on me, which truthfully, you guys, caught me by surprise, because I, like I said, have burned actually 3 other candles in that format and not had any problems with it. But for whatever reason, it was really impacting the strength and throw of that first half of that burn. I did end up contacting SNIF. I emailed them and they did refund me my money. Well, not really refund me my money. They asked if they wanted me to have a replacement of it or store credit. And I knew that I wanted to go ahead and purchase this larger vessel. So I just opted for store credit. They were great to deal with. So if you ever have an issue with your candles, you guys, always take like a video of it, so that way you can send it in as evidence as to what's going on. But anyways, I went ahead and purchased the 4-wick, and I am going to tell you guys, I'm having a completely different experience in a positive way with the 4-wick candle. Now, before I talk about the 4-wick, let me just finish up with the 2-wick review. Once I got to about the halfway mark, the wick issue seemed to correct itself and I was able to finish burning it. Now, that being said, you guys, I did put it in a hurricane, and I would say strength and throw for that last half of the smaller vessel's burn in the hurricane was probably about like a 7.5 in terms of strength and throw. Now, let me tell you guys, this 4-wick format, oh my goodness. I'm just going to say, if you love a sniff fragrance, just go with it in this 4-wick. I know my friend Melanie loves the Mornings at Leven fragrance, and she just has it in the 4-wick. But here we go, you guys. Nice, beautiful burn, beautiful solid wax pool. I actually lit this candle probably about an hour ago now. You can see that I have a solid full wax pool going, so it doesn't take terribly long to pool out. Look at the ambiance there. I mean, is that not beautiful for the holiday season? Wicks are burning very, very well for me. They're not getting overly hot. They're not sooting. This wax that SNIF uses, I do not believe that it is 100% soy, but it is a soy blend. SNIF does say that their products are non-toxic, that they that they use cleaner ingredients. And I would agree with that, you guys, because I'm not like I said, other than that bizarre wick issue that I had for the first half of the burn on that Old Saint wick, the rest of my sniff candles that I have had have all burned very cleanly for me. I'm not dealing with excess soot. They don't start to smell waxy or like kerosene or chemically as they continue to burn. So I would believe, I guess, that their products are a little bit more higher quality. Again, that's reflected in the price tag on these candles. But overall, you guys, I am highly impressed with the burn on this one. Strength and throw on this Old Saint wick, you guys, is a solid 9 for me. Particularly if you leave this candle burning a little bit longer, it just gets stronger and better the longer that you let it burn. I have been able to burn these for longer periods of time without it getting excessively sooty. I haven't noticed giant carbon balls developing at the ends of the wicks. I do trim them just slightly before relighting, but nothing, don't get overly aggressive in your wick trimming, you guys. I would highly recommend, this just goes across all candle brands. If you feel the need to trim your wicks, just trim off like the excess areas that look like it's a carbon ball. Just get that area. Don't trim them to like a certain length wick, because I think a lot of these wicks these days are designed to be more of that quote unquote self-trimming, and you might run the risk of giving yourself some drowning or puny wicks if you trim them too low. But overall, you guys, I would say maybe a little bit of caution with the 2-wick format, just because I didn't have a great experience for the first half of the burn on the 2-wick of this candle. However, this is also going to come with a caveat, because when I was just on the SNIF website checking for I was actually looking to verify the price on this 4-wick vessel. I did notice that the 4-wick vessel is currently sold out. However, they are taking pre-orders, and they will honor the 30% off price if you want to pre-order this 4-wick vessel. Now, they do say that the pre-ordered candles will ship in 2 to 3 weeks, which might be a little close. Obviously, if you're wanting to burn this throughout the holiday season, that might cut into your Christmas burning time. But again, if you're planning to gift this, maybe you want this as a backup, or maybe you like to burn fragrances like this going into, like I said, the later winter months, then you should still be okay. But like I said, SNIF right now is site-wide 30% off. The other thing that I will say about SNIF is that they have an amazing rewards program. You can accumulate rewards to get cash off of your next purchase pretty rapidly and pretty easily. I have already redeemed a ton of rewards points on a lot of candles and body care, so they seem to add up. I mean, I think I just got that Winter Wander candle, which is in this same size vessel. I think that I got that for about half price because I was able to redeem a ton of rewards. So I don't know, you guys. I would say, sign up for that SNIF rewards program, because that's a way that you can save some extra money. But let me know in the comment section down below if you have purchased this candle. Again, if you like Bath and Body Works Vanilla Balsam, if you like Caramel Sundays Fresh Cut Fraser or Dad's Fresh Cut Fraser, these are fragrances that those are fragrances that I feel like they're not the same as this one, but they're kind of in that same kind of like tree family. Then I think that this one would be a safe bet for you guys. So I think I've covered everything I wanted to about this one. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have tried this candle, or if you've tried any other SNIF fragrances. I would be curious to hear your thoughts. So anyways, you guys, please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.